Good morning, traders. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's just do a rundown on the majors. So, Ethereum still is kind of the leader here. It's been the strongest of the majors since we had this intermediate term top and Bitcoin in front of 20,000. You can see this going back here in the middle of December. Actually, this is back to November. So, Bitcoin Cash is in red here. That had that wild ramp up, followed by Litecoin. It's going 100% in a day. Uh, Over the weekend, a couple back here in mid-December, and then you can see Ethereum's been pretty much outperforming. You can also see it if we just outright look at these on a relative value basis. Uh, when I try to run these charts from a point where they're all together, right? You can see the same thing. So uh, Ethereum's definitely leading the way here. Bitcoin Cash seems to be the cheapest. It just depends on how you play it, guys. But I like to just to see where we're at overall, what's kind of leading of the majors. So from a directional standpoint, we had pretty good buys. Um, had a couple of good four hour swings. What's going on here? Slow to load. All right, there we go. All right, so this is a 4 hour, right? We took some off here yesterday, put a sell signal out just because we moved to a new high. This next pullback is viable, so I want to kind of see this 4 hour come down. I want to be buyers back into this 1040, 1080 area. So here's the intermediate term. We can look at, here's a double top. This is a tweezer tails right into the prior high at 1400. Broke this higher low, you broke the bands. That gives you the move to the 200 and or all the way back to pi. At lower highs, lower highs. All right, so whether you want to draw that downtrend line or you want to draw it this way off of this pivot, we're clearly above it yesterday. So these are lower lows here. And right here we have higher lows, which is what we call a phase 2 higher low. It's always the first sign that maybe you're going to see the market turn direction because you stop making lower lows. But the real key is that you got to start making higher highs. So these are the lower highs here. And then we changed that pattern yesterday and we finally got a higher high. So Ethereum has been long-term bullish. We've been sitting through this intermediate term downtrend, but that just changed back to bullish yesterday. So we've got the intermediate term turning up. We'll see if we can get some momentum to the upside. Take another shot at retesting these highs. But like I said, this 4 hours coming down, so I like buying now. You can see the bands are all rising. So you should see this is a higher low here, right? We're making higher lows and now we have higher highs. So that's what you want from a technical market structure perspective. Okay, the other you can see here on Bitcoin and Litecoin, they're still in this consolidation mode where we continue to make lower highs. And here's a 4 hour chart. This is right here is a phase 2 in the topping process. You failed to get above this high. So you double topped and then pattern of higher lows is taken out for sure right here. But within this process of this double top, we should have had a higher low somewhere in this area and you couldn't hold the band. So that's part of why we said when you went through 17,500, that leaves the door open for a pullback to the 200 and or back to pi. It's the same thing that Ethereum did. And then you held both scenarios, you held pi exactly. This is our pi line. Right? So that's a cycle up, cycle back to it. And then you hold here, you bounce to a lower high. Right? This is a lower high, this is a lower high. Lower highs, lower highs. Here we have a higher high, sucked in a lot of people right here. That was tough, right? Because you had phase 2 higher lows right here. Then we moved back into this. Here you have a double bottom again, and then we broke to lower lows. You can see that the lower highs have been in place. So this offers good opportunities to hedge on these bounces. Bitcoin futures, or you're able to short. And then what we want to see is we want to see this pattern get taken out. So right now we have lower highs here, and this lower high for sure is where the market needs to get back above, everything back to intermediate term bullish. So Bitcoin hasn't done it yet, still consolidating. Same thing on Litecoin. Just you can see the lower highs here. I drew this trend line. Got to get back above 200, back above 25. Turn this intermediate term back bullish. Still have a long-term uptrend. We're just sitting through this intermediate term downtrend. So you got to have a model that's multi-duration. You got to look at different time frames. You can't just there's there's near-term cycles and near-term trends within the intermediate term, and then intermediate term, then you have the long term. Anyway, the risk to the market's definitely below 125 here on Litecoin. And then, guys, I think just like Ethereum looks pretty good, the other strong coin here or chart I see is Neo. Neo's breaking to new higher highs for the intermediate term. Lower highs, this is the higher low. It broke the bands, you got the move back to the 200. There you didn't get to retest the pi. Right, but you got lower highs here. You have a higher low here relative to this low. Right, this is a lower highs. We broke this pattern here. So this is a higher high now, similar to Ethereum, above here. So we're still long Neo. We added to it a couple times on these dips. And I actually like gas also, which derivative of Neo. But this is a buy setup here on gas. Neo gas. I like that we broke out above this downtrend line in here. Bands went back bullish. Started to break out January. And this was the first move up. And this is a nice consolidation, nice orderly pullback following the prior day's highs. And today was the first day that you broke above the prior day's consolidation. So that's a swing line buy setup on our model with the cycle cross. So Neo looks good. Want to watch for a retest into these highs, and we'll see if we can make new highs. Right? That's the way to play that one. I'll give you guys a few other updates here shortly.